October, a tradition on the channel that is approaching the level of April. April, of course, being National Poetry Month, where we do poetry discussions every day of the month. But October last year on the channel, we did October, which was a whole lot of Edgar Allan Poe stretched across just a single month. But this month, this year, October will be just a little bit different as we are taking on a much broader selection of horror and spooky type of stuff, if you will. So here's the promise that I have for you. First off, welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we're here for another TBR here on the channel to explore what it is that we're going to be going over in the month of October. But here's my promise to you for the October Horror Fest here on the channel. If you're willing to make this journey with me, I'm willing to make this journey with you. There is a whole lot of stuff on this list of reading that is going to be new to me. Authors that are completely new to me, arguably classic writers that are going to be new to me, and retaking on a classic novel at least through 4 chapters, and finishing up the Carrie series here on the channel, and a couple of poems from poets that I really enjoy that I've never read. So let's get into things. Tuesday, October the 1st, we will have The Dance of Death by Charles Baudelaire. New to me, have never read it. Just kind of Googled poetry that would be good for the month of October, and that came up. The second one, The Drowned Man by Alexander Pushkin. Alexander Pushkin is an incredibly sort of, how should I say, was certainly his own thinker. Someone that is compelling in a uniquely Alexander Pushkin way, at least from what it is that I have read from him. And though I have not read The Drowned Man, and I have found it listed under The Drowned Man and The Drowned, so I am not sure exactly which is closer to the proper translation for that poem, but I am looking forward to that poem for October. Then, Thursday, October the 3rd, a series which will start the month on Thursdays and transition to Tuesdays later in the month. Frankenstein, Chapter 1. I have read Frankenstein one time before, didn't have a particularly good go of it, was sort of on a high horse about the stylistic choices in the novel. So I am excited to take it back on. I am excited to really sort of sink my... So the only reason I'm willing to take this on right now, despite the fact that I started a series on several novels and haven't finished them, is that they are relatively short chapters. So I think that the way that I am trying to build a novel series is different than I had done it in the past. It is more labor intensive, but with the chapters being just 7, 8, 10 pages, at least early going in the novel, I think I can get through that. Then we have on Friday, October the 4th, a short story that I have never read from Edgar Allan Poe. I don't think I've ever done a once through of Edgar Allan Poe in whole, but The Imp of the Perverse by Edgar Allan Poe. This is a short story. I've never read it, have no idea what it was about. Sort of did the whole throw a dart at the map thing and decided to go with that short story. Then Incantation by George Parsons Lathrop. Another poem, another poet, completely new to me. Finally, Sunday, To round out the very first week uh, of October, The Apparition by John Donne. I've never read this poem. John Donne is a poet that I really enjoy, have never read The Apparition. So then we have on Monday, October the 7th, The Conqueror Worm, a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. Not a whole lot of Edgar Allan Poe poetry this October, more his short stories than anything, but the Conqueror Worm is one that I have done a few times on the channel, I believe at least twice, so I'm going to have to try to think of a new way to cover that poem for Monday the 7th. Tuesday the 8th, finally returning to the Carrie series. So this is what screwed me with Carrie. Carrie Part 2 is like 80% of the reading in the novel. Trying to do that with an extended workload as far as what the video itself entails, the new way that I'm trying to do the novel read-alongs, plus daily uploads, makes things very, very cumbersome. So Carrie has been put to the back burner, but I believe I'm a few days ahead now in production, so I should be able to get through Carrie Part 2 for Tuesday, October the 8th. Then moving on to Wednesday the 9th, William Wilson by Edgar Allan Poe. Another one from Edgar Allan Poe that I have never read. And I did some searching over, hey, what are the scariest Edgar Allan Poe short stories? What are the real heavy hitters as far as inducing fear is concerned? And William Wilson, which again, I've never heard, appeared on every list I could find. So I figured I'd throw that in there. Thursday, October the 10th, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Chapter 2. Now, in this, I believe there is a little bit of kind of novel stuff going on before the chapters in the preface. I am not going to include that on this read along until maybe the end. Maybe I'll go back and wrap things up, but it seems like there is something weird going on in the preface. I have just flipped through it. I don't remember. This has been so many years since I've read the book. Then on Friday, October the 11th, Four Beasts in One by Edgar Allan Poe. This was another dart at the map selection, so I have no idea what I am doing there. Then on Saturday, October the 12th, a new type of video that I am hoping to make. There is a first recorded ghost story. Comes to us from Egypt. I am going to buckle down into the research for that and try to come up with something compelling to go over for that video. Not 100% sure what I'm doing with it, to be 1,000% honest, but I am going to try to branch out and do things a little bit different. Then A Child's Nightmare by Robert Graves, a poem and a poet. I think I've got one Robert Graves video on the channel, don't hold me to it, but a poem that I have certainly never read before. Reminded me of Freddy Krueger, the title did, so I figured, hey, let's throw it in here. Monday, October the 14th, another Edgar Allan Poe short story, Some Words with a Mummy by Edgar Allan Poe. No idea what we're getting into with that. Just thought it was worth throwing in there. Then on Tuesday, October the 15th, Carrie Part 3. The final read-along portion for the Carrie series. Should be able to get that done. It's a very brief section of the book, so I should be able to get that done and taken care of as soon as I am moving on from Carrie Part 2. I don't like to do anything out of order because it messes with... I'm not very good with the order and operations of things, the recap portion of things. So Wednesday, October the 16th, Hop Frog by Edgar Allan Poe, another of the Edgar Allan Poe short stories that popped up on lots of lists. hopefully it's good. So we will see with that. Then Thursday, October the 17th, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Chapter 3. Just another in that series. Friday, October the 18th, The Witch of Coos by Robert Frost. Hopefully by the time this comes around, I understand how to say that word. I think it's Coos. I think it's The Witch of Coos, now that I remember. I think I'm forgetting an umlaut in there or something. But this was one of... I've done a video on this poem. Very surprising poem from Robert Frost. A lot of stuff going on in it, and I am looking forward to revisiting that poem. Then Saturday, October the 19th. Remember the first ghost story video that I had talked about? Stephen King's 3 Types of Horror is another video along those lines that I am hoping to do. I am hoping to be able to execute and make something compelling on the excerpt from Danse Macabre. There is a portion in Danse Macabre where Stephen King talks about his breakdown. So Danse Macabre is basically Stephen King's treatise on the horror genre writ large, and in that, there is a portion of the book where he talks about the 3 types of horror. There's shock, revulsion, and terror, I think, are the 3 levels that he says. Then we're doing something very new to me on Sunday, October the 20th, The Ghost Eater by H.P. Lovecraft. I have read 0 H.P. Lovecraft in my life, and I'm going to try to change that this month. Hopefully, I'm able to stomach H.P. Lovecraft. I have heard, not stomach as in he too scary or too gross, I've heard that he's very difficult to work your way through. So we will see if I am able to actually pull that off. Hopefully, because I've got 3 H.P. Lovecraft stories tentatively on the schedule here. Then Siegfried Sassoon. If you've been around the channel for any length of time, you understand that Siegfried Sassoon is a poet that I absolutely adore. Apparently, he has a poem called Haunted, of which I know absolutely nothing. And then on... Ooh, did I mess up the numbers there, perhaps? Yeah. So this is going to be Tuesday, October 22nd, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Chapter 4. Then we're going to change this. There we go. Then we have Berenice by Edgar Allan Poe, another short story that popped up on a bunch of lists, so I figured I would throw it in there. Finally, what will be the first of the Black Label book reviews, Carrie, on Thursday, October 24th. This is something that I have been working toward on the channel for quite a while, trying to sort of come up with a new strategy for book reviews. I think that they are something that could be absolutely transformative on YouTube if they were done differently. I hope I have something figured out on that. I just think that I think that the torch of literary criticism is in the hands of the internet age, and I think that maybe we're not doing it justice, and hopefully I can do something about that with this, starting with this book review and moving forward. Then on Friday, October 25th, The Festival by H.P. Lovecraft. Saturday, October 27th, The Alchemist by H.P. Lovecraft. Again, have not read any H.P. Lovecraft, so looking forward to that. Sunday, October the 27th, Ghost House by Robert Frost. I don't think I have read Ghost House by Robert Frost. It must not be in the New Hampshire collection, and not one of his more generally anthologized poems, but I saw it was Robert Frost and had Ghost House in the title. Throw it in to October. Monday, October 28th, Never Bet the Devil Your Head by Edgar Allan Poe. No idea what this one is about. Didn't see it on any lists, but it has devil in the title, and we're here in October. So I figured, hey, let's figure that out. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Chapter 5, on Tuesday, October 29th. Then we have Young Goodman Brown by Nathaniel Hawthorne on Wednesday, October the 30th. Young Goodman Brown is one of these oft anthologized poems. It's one, or short stories. It's one of these short stories that is in basically every literary criticism 101 level class you're ever going to find. I have not read it since I was forced to read it 37 times as a what am I talking about? English literature undergrad. Basically, every beginning of every school year that I had to read Young Goodman Brown. So it'll be exciting to get back into that and maybe try to appreciate some of the things that I did not appreciate while I was forced to read the short story. And finally, Thursday, October the 31st, I believe this will be the third time in Strip Coverlit history that The Raven has been on the channel on Halloween itself. So I will try to come up with something that is a different take, something that is unique for this year, or something in general. I'm not 100% sure what it is that I'm going to do there, but hopefully I can come up with something that is worth watching, worth partaking in, worth listening to, maybe worth liking and commenting on. It just depends. But anyway, that is what I have planned for the month of October 2024 Horror Fest here on the channel. If you like or appreciate this sort of thing, hitting the like button really does help me out because it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. There's poetry every Monday, though I don't know if I made sure to have poetry on Mondays on here, so I might have to. I did not. We'll see. We'll see what happens in October. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.